Welcome back to Global War 1939. We just finished off round 6. So let's take a look at the action. Now, before we get started, I do have to make an announcement. I am leaving the province for quite some time this Friday, so I'll be leaving at Zero Dark Stupid. And so, meaning we only got today and tomorrow to actually complete this game. So let's see if we can make that happen. For the Germans, they did push further into Russia. They did get rid of the Russian defenses. They did lose quite a bit of their infantry corps, losing 24 of their 25 that they entered that zone in. So the follow-up battle of Moscow is going to be a little risky for the Germans, as they don't have a lot to shield their heavy hitters in their artillery. So what's currently they have available to enter Moscow right now, they have 9 artillery, 3 heavy artillery, 1 infantry, 3 SS infantry, 6 SS mechanized, 5 regular mechanized, 8 Mark IVs, and 16 medium tanks. They'd also have their medium bombers within range to help out in that battle. They were going to utilize the rest of their Air Force, all their veteran fighters and their tacticals. They're going to move them up, but they were afraid that the Canadians up in Norway would use that opportunity to attack Western Germany, as they only have about 5 infantry there defending. So they decided to keep their Air Force in Western Germany to prevent or dissuade the Canadians from landing. The rest was just more maneuvering. They did add a couple more units to Paris. So what's currently in Paris, handful of infantry, a Mark V, 3 medium tanks, Pak 40, artillery, 2 light tanks, and a paratrooper. So that's defending Paris. They're going to have to obviously bulk that up a little bit more, add some more infantry, and hopefully get some more armor in that region. The follow-up troops that they keep producing after the main attack force has moved on. So this grouping here is they're probably going to make a run for Stalingrad, and then the follow-up group will take out Kiev and clean up the territories that they left behind. As for the Italians, they did advance further. They're now in Lower Egypt, and they're ready to strike Cairo. They will be followed up by these 4 infantry from Italy and this Italian territory, utilizing their transports. So what's currently in Cairo 3, they got a bunch of infantry, a couple of their elite infantry, a light tank, 3 medium tanks, 2 heavy artillery, and a bunch of infantry that will take place in that battle. They did go ahead and purchase another battleship. Hopefully they'll be able to utilize that for a bombardment. And once Cairo is done, this Italian fleet is going to make a dart out for the Atlantic. So they want as much firepower to contest with the British Commonwealth fleet in the Atlantic as well. Maybe a possible investment would be an aircraft carrier, but because they already got the fighters, and once Cairo was gone, these fighters won't really have much left to do. So an aircraft carrier might help out in that endeavor. They are starting to move up infantry to help out the Germans in France. So we will see how D-Day happens. For the British and U.S. in the Atlantic, the U.S. did invest heavily into transports. They have 11 now. Basically, this entire group, minus 1 unit, will be able to sail over next turn. So they got infantry, Marines, 1 light tank, 2 artillery, 3 heavy artillery, and about 5 medium tanks. So they'll be all be able to go over, plus the Canadian of a light tank infantry, and the British did go ahead and purchase more infantry, more armor, and they'll be able to go over as well. So they're thinking D-Day will happen this turn. That is the plan. So both forces will land at once. The Canadians did take out the rest of Norway, and they're going to make a run into Finland, as there's not much left to resist them. The German group in Leningrad, will go and try to take out this factory, and then turn around and face the Canadians and try to stop Finland from falling to the Allies. As for the Russians, they seen their main battle group in Olar Kursk get destroyed, so they just invested more infantry into Moscow, as well with another heavy artillery, another KV-2. They did bolster up some infantry in Stalingrad and a couple more in that territory up there, but their mobility war is pretty much ended. They're now in a defensive mode. If the Russians do win this battle of Moscow that's going to come up shortly, then they'll have the opportunity to spread out and go on the offensive. Down in Africa, again, they're deploying the same strategy as the Russians. Just bunker down, get as many units here as possible, quality units, as opposed to the Russians, because their factory production is pretty high. They can afford to drop 10 infantry and then a few quality units down here. They only have 3, so they want high quality units as much as possible, which they've been able to accomplish that pretty well. They only got 1 light tank, and the rest they got 5 medium tanks and a slew of infantry of mixed ability, a couple of heavy artillery, and they still got their fighter. So we'll see how they face off against this Italian group here. For FEC, they did lose a big battle. Burma is now back under Japanese control, cutting off the Burma Road to the Chinese, severely hindering their production ability and quality of units. Right now, they can only build infantry. But China was able to build 5 more infantry this past turn, which is great. The FEC still has a contingent of troops in China trying to help them out, slow down the Japanese as much as possible. In response to this, they didn't really have anything to counterattack, so they got more infantry and added some more to Calcutta, a few more armor units. This task force of 2 destroyers, 2 transports, they're just continuously sailing down the coast of Africa, picking up whatever they can that's marching up, trying to get as many units into Cairo as possible. For the Japanese, like I said, they did take out the Burma Road, which is a big victory for them. Slows down the Chinese, prevents India from reinforcing China with new units unless they go all the way around this way. But by the time they get units around this way, they need these units for the defense or to go on the attack when opportunities arise. All right, and then Communist China is pretty low. They're only making $1 a turn, so they're only going to get 1 infantry every 3 turns, which is quite difficult to wage war in any situation. So they're in a defensive mindset, basically just waiting for the Chinese or the Japanese to come and attack them. For their purchases, they got down another... No. Sorry, that was there from the last turn. They moved down a mechanized heavy artillery and an artillery to defend Hong Kong. These units were here, then just retreated backwards. They did add a couple more infantry here. They added some more to the home island, added another Amato battleship, another carrier. So they will meet up with the task force or the main Japanese fleet. They did combine into one fleet now, which they have 3 battleships, 2 Amatos, 2 escort carriers, 3 aircraft carriers, 6 cruisers, and about 9 destroyers. They do have a small fleet here. They did retake this island from Anzac. They didn't have any troops there, so that was just a walk-on. So the Japanese got all their main territories back again. I suspect these will probably get attacked. The Americans do want to clear out this convoy box. It is $5. So that is a big deal. But it is in range of the main Japanese fleet. I'm not sure if it's strong enough to contend with the American fleet as of yet. But we will see. The Americans in the Atlantic did drop or purchase 2 more battleships. So right now they're tied, excluding this Amato. The Americans and the Japanese are tied, but the Japanese do have better quality battleships. Aircraft carrier wise, they're still lagging behind. Now Japan has 4 total. The Americans only have 2. So they're going to have to invest in that as well. All right. Well, that's the end of turn 6. Like I said, I do have to go away this Friday. So we only got today and tomorrow to complete this game. We'll see. We'll try our best to make that happen. All right. Thank you very much. Have a great day.